Please, because Laura's never been, and I haven't been now. That was 10 years ago at least. So I would really like to go back. And the next day at Notodden, I was watching Terry Evans, his set, and which is what I like about festivals the best, is that you can go and see other people and what they're doing and stay competitive because you see what other people are putting out there. So I went to watch his show, and I always loved Terry. He's very charismatic. And it had rained very hard the night before, but this day now was sunny and hot. So I was wearing this pink dress, and it was very light fabric. And all of a sudden the wind blew, and it blew all the water off of the tent just on me. And at that moment, the photographer took my picture, right? I'm all standing there in shock with my hair, very cold water because it had been at night when it rained. And the next day I was on the cover of this like Dagblad. Yeah. They put me on the cover all soaking wet. And I was so mad because there could be so many other pictures of me singing or the show or whatever, and they put this one of me, and you can see through my dress because the water just, and I mean I was wearing like black bra, black underwear, but you could see everything through the dress. It was just awful. It was an awful moment. But
this was in the 90s sometime.
Yeah, I think it was 98 or 99 maybe. Yeah, it was a long time ago.
That time you had the CD called White Trash Lady.
What? White Trash?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, White Trash Girl.
Yeah, White Trash Girl.
Right, that's right. That was on Roof, the German label. Yeah, White Trash Girl was a few records ago. We have Laura now, and I have 3 records together that we co-produced. And she's very bright, so she does a lot of the technical work that I can't do. And especially now with my health, it's difficult for me to do certain things, and she's just, wow, she has so much energy. And I remember when I was 30 and 20, and Sue Palmer, my piano player then, she always said, "You're my cash cow, you're my energy ball." And now I have Laura, she's my energy ball. What happened? You can't get in? Maybe just knock on Bobby's door. Okay. Are you all right? Do you need allergy meds?
Just keep going.
She joined you in 2008.
I'm sorry?
She joined you in 2008?
I think so. Did you come in at 2008, Laura, or 2007?
The end of 2007.
Yeah. And right after she came in the band, I got diagnosed with cancer. It was only, like 3 months or something?
Couldn't get into the room.
Right, Laura, was it 3 months? After you were in my band, I got diagnosed?
Allergies. 2 months.
Yeah, so she just had joined the band, and it was very difficult. And I told her, "Look, I don't know what's going to happen. Maybe I'm going to die, so you should go be in a different band because I don't know now what's going to happen." And she said, "No, you're not going to die. Everything's going to be okay, blah, blah." It's really nice. So
she's important anyway to
yeah.
getting through this.
Well, the sound is really different now. It's very guitar-based band. Now, and I enjoy that very much. She has a lot of energy, and playing with her is infectious. The guitar playing it's every time. It's wow, She's just very, very good.
And this is you can hear on the new CD, of course.
Oh yeah. She's all over. The ones that she's on, I think the first one we did together was Superhero, and then Sister Vagabond, and then now Coming Out Swinging. So she's for me an indispensable musical partner and business partner and friend. When I'm in the hospital, she won't leave me. She comes and sleeps on the chair, and she won't leave me. My sons, they love me, of course, but it's different for them. they would leave me in the hospital. They don't understand. There's something that women understand instinctively.
Yeah.
And well, her mother was very ill when she was a young girl, and so she spent a lot of time when she was little, taking care of her mother. Her mother had they did a surgery on her mother, and they accidentally perforated her stomach, and so she almost died. She was very, very ill, and so it's a little bit ironic because the troubles that she had were very much like mine, because I have pancreatic neuroendocrine cancer, so it was like the symptoms were similar. So anyway, it's like I think she came right at the moment that it's like God sent her to me. Like they say that, like a godsend, and she is like a godsend. She just was sent right. And she knows, she's very bright. Like she went on the internet and looked everything up about my disease, who's the best specialist to take care of this disease, what are the treatments that are available for this disease, where have they been done, what kind of results did they get. It's amazing. Then she comes back and tells me all these things, and I'm like, wow. And I think she told me the other day, I said, if I die, you should, I said, you're so smart. You could do anything you want. You could be a booking agent. You could front your own band. She's like, if you die, I'm going to medical school and I'm going to be a doctor. I'm like, okay, go be a doctor. You would be a great asset to
Playing doctor.
There are a lot of doctors actually who play for stress relief, who play guitar for, because she has some that are her students. She gives private lessons to people, and so she has some that are her students, and are very using guitar as a way to relieve their work stress, I think.
You're happy that met her, but she was happy as well that met you.
Yeah, it was a very fortuitous meeting for both of us. We both needed each other, in a different way, of course, but. And I got her from Sue Foley. My guitar player had quit. I had a Danish guy playing with me. His name was Heine Andersen. And Heine quit because his wife is a singer and he wanted to back up his wife. And so that was, of course, understandable. But when he quit, I didn't know what I was going to do. So I called Sue Foley and I said, can I clone you? Can I make you a clone? And then I was half joking, but I love Sue Foley's playing. She's very minimalist, and she never says more than needs to be said. And Laura plays very much like that. Sue said, you should get this girl, Laura Chavez. She lives in California. She said, I don't know why I didn't think of it before. She's perfect for you. And so, yeah, she was right. We became very good friends immediately. When I picked her up at the airport, she had a black shirt with little skeletons on it, and I had on a black shirt with little skeletons on as well. And so then we went to lunch, and we ordered exactly the same thing. And then, just in talking, we liked the same things. Okay. It's an very interesting relationship.
Easy to go touring then.
Oh yeah. Because and also to have another woman on the road it makes it easy as well. Just because you have a confidant or someone you can talk to, that you don't want to go to the bass player or the drummer. Hey buddy, I'm having female trouble today. You don't want to.
No, let's see.
Yeah, so it's nice to be able to share that with someone and a female. Yeah.
The music is a power anyway.
Oh yeah.
Very strong power.
Yeah, I've always used music as a therapeutic tool for me personally, because my childhood was so ugly and so much damage had been done. So I needed a way to boost my self-esteem without spending millions of dollars in therapy. I still spent a lot of money in therapy and a lot of time in therapy, but the music helped more because I could write songs like I'm a superhero, I'm the toughest girl alive, I'm whatever the songs were. They always had a positive message about them, and that's a theme I stay with. I have another CD that I put out called The Power in You, And I give it away to people who are sick. I leave it at the cancer center in LA, and I give it away. People can also buy it, but I give it to. It's a collection of all of my songs of healing, and the ones that have the most meaning or content that. It would be good for someone who's sick, or good for someone going through a divorce or a painful breakup of some sort. So it's nice to be able to have this and give it to someone. Can't do it?
I couldn't get in your room. That key didn't work.
Ay. Yeah, I don't know where...
You have, how many CDs you have now? It's
13.
13, my God. And the first one...
Burlesque Swing was the very first recording I made. And now it's available on CD, a CD Baby, or from us at our show. But that was the first one. It's a live recording with the band I had then was Sue Palmer, Greg Willis, Steeple Clocks. It was a very good band, very swing, more swing. But really good people, all San Diego people. Well, that was fun.
You write the lyrics, Candye?
Yeah, I write the lyrics, and sometimes I write the melody. It depends. Every song has its own. It's like a new baby. Every song has its own.
Östrogen Bomb, you wrote that?
Which one? Estrogen
Bomb? Yeah.
No, that one I didn't write. That one was written by Mike Duke, who wrote a lot of songs for Huey Lewis and a lot of big hits. But he wrote Estrogen Bomb, and it was different, much different the way that he sang it. But I said, I can make this a blues song, and I think that about a lot of songs I hear. I can make this a blues song easily. And so I just took it and made it a blues song, and then I asked him, do you think it's okay? Can I record it this way? And he liked it, so I was able to record it.
Yeah.
But yeah, most of the songs I write the lyrics, and Laura... I write with Laura the same way that I used to write with Sue Palmer, my pianist. Sue would write music, and she would, and then she would match it with my words, or I would change my words to match what she was playing.
Okay.
And Laura and I work much the same way. If I have a piece of prose or something, a poem or something that I've written and I think it's good, or I'll read it to her or give it to her, and then she sometimes has grooves in her head, and I say, just match it to whatever groove you like. And so then it comes out. Then I have to sometimes work shortening the words and making the words the most meaningful. I learned that from Dave Alvin, the songwriter. He's a very good songwriter and a very good friend of mine. And he told me that just because you can talk a lot doesn't mean you should talk a lot, which is interesting. I think it's a very Scandinavian attitude. The Scandinavians hold a lot inside. They hold their poker cards. So he said, you can look at a poem or something, an article, and you can easily, if it's not written well, you can easily go in and just edit and take out 30 words in 5 minutes that don't need to be there to get the point across, and it'll be a better song for it. So that was one of the best and most valuable tools I learned about songwriting was that from Dave. It really made me look at writing a different way. I was always a writer. I had a diary, and my childhood was so rough that my diary was my best friend, and I would go in the closet and shut the door, and I had this little record player, and I would play records, and my parents were always screaming and fighting and glass breaking and craziness, but in my closet I have my little record player with Elvis and Jerry Lee Lewis, and I can listen to Patsy Cline and Connie Stevens and write, and so that's what I used to do for my own mental escape.
So some of this stuff you can meet in your CDs after?
Yeah, do you mean, hear the what's the question again?
Yeah, I mean your rough childhood.
Yeah.
You can meet it in
well,
your
like
CDs
White Trash
in your-
Girl. You mentioned
yeah,
White
yeah,
Trash
yeah,
Girl.
yeah.
It's not specific, and White Trash Girl is even kind of funny because I talk about, he doesn't have to have a job. He can just have some beer and a pickup truck. Obviously, that's not good enough for me. I like a guy who actually does have a job and a car that runs, But yes, I think in a song like White Trash Girl, you can see it. And then there's other songs as well, like on Guitared and Feathered, there's a few, like I'm Not Gonna Cry Today. I'm Not Getting Older, I'm Getting Better, and some of the different songs.
That's right. Rolf likes the masturbation blues. He likes very good.
You know what? He's not the only one. Masturbation.
Knockout.
Really? That's interesting because that record is the most pop record I have. But a lot of people like the production on this record because the guy who engineered that record engineered Linda Ronstadt's Prisoner in Disguise record and the Best of Linda Ronstadt, which was a very big white album with her face in black and white, and that record won like a lot of Grammys. And he won the Grammy for Kim Carnes' Betty Davis Eyes. He won the Grammy for that, and so he's a very good friend of mine, and he produced Knockout, and we stayed friends, but we only did maybe 2
There's
records.
a song on there about your childhood, the Sharktown.
So.
I read someplace that you they said that you were Bette Midler meeting Mama Thornton.
That I've been described this way. Yeah, I think that was an accurate description earlier in my career. Yeah, I don't know if it applies so much now. I don't think it's quite the same now. I'm a little bit different just because I'm a little more serious. I used to be a little more fun maybe with Masturbation Blues and All You Can Eat It All Night. I used to be a little more frivolous and a little more crazy and wild, and I'm still crazy and wild and fun, but I'm careful and I'm a little bit more patient and a little bit maybe quieter about the way I do things. But once we get on stage, there's still this high energy thing because she's amazing player and has so much energy, and she's young, so she really brings a lot. And the band we have now, all 3 of them are very, very high energy, fun people who love what they do. Nobody's just standing there playing, and they're all animated, so it's fun. You can watch the bass player for a while, then you can watch Laura and her funny faces she makes, and then you can watch the drummer do things, and you can watch me look silly, and whatever it is, there's a lot of visual stimulation going on, as well as audio stimulation.
And Candye, your voice is very powerful, really.
Yeah.
It's I really enjoyed to listen to it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, early in my career, I was really inspired by singers like Mahalia Jackson and Big Mama Thornton, of course, you mentioned. And I really liked this, Bessie Smith. I really liked this style of singing. I think that I was supposed to be born maybe in 1930 or 1920 when people didn't have microphones and they would shout. Yeah. I'm good at being a shouter and I enjoy it, but that's changed a little bit too since the cancer issue, because I had very big surgeries and I had 150 stitches in a lot of things, part of my stomach taken away and a lot of my gallbladder, a lot of things taken out. Yeah. So I'm still learning now how to sing again after all of these trials and tribulations. I'm still learning, but I know how it's working, and sometimes I have to sit down, but rarely, less more. I used to sit down a lot more when I first got sick, but now, and I maybe sit down singing 2 times in a month or something like that, right? 2 or 3 times in a month. It's not as regular as it used to be, you know.
But now you're touring Europe, and you finish out in April sometime.
It's a very long, nice tour. We're very, very excited.
You go to Finland. Have you been there before?
Yeah, I've been to Finland many times, and I like it very much. And I have a lot of good friends in Finland.
And of course Paris.
Yeah.
It suits Candye Kane.
We
Paris.
love, the French are wonderful, and they love me. The French have always loved me because they have a wonderful sense of comedy and a wonderful sense of flamboyance and charismatic. They really understand, joie. So they get me, and they like their Americans big and fat and wild. And that's what I was, more big and fat and wild. I still dress with feathers in my hair and dress the same on stage, but I'm maybe not quite as shocking looking because I'm not big and I don't have huge boobs anymore, and I'm just a little more average, my body type.
A little bit of Edith Piaf, perhaps.
A little what?
Edith Piaf.
Piaf, I love her. Yeah. I'm a very big fan of Piaf, and Charles Aznavour I like very much, and I like a lot of the old singers. Mildred Bailey is one of my favorite old-timey singers. You know Leonard Nimoy just died. Do you know he just died? He was 88. You know him, Spock?
Yeah.
He was a friend of mine.
Okay.
And I just found out he died. He did a book, several books, but he was a very good photographer. And he did a book, all of big women, naked big women. And so in his book, he has like 10 of my friends running around naked. And I posed for him. I have 2 pictures of me that he took, but I refused to be naked because I already did that many years ago when I was young, so I didn't want to do it again. For those girls, it was a new thing. For me, I did it, so I didn't want to be naked. So he really wanted me in the book, and he kept saying, "Come on, if you disrobe, then you can be in the book. I really want you in the book." But I was I'm stubborn, and I just said, "No, I can't do that." I was already fat and posed naked. Why should I do it again? It's already made a statement. But I'm sorry that he died today. He was a very nice man. I went to his home several times, and he shot pictures of me, and he was just a lovely, lovely man. So it's a big loss for the television community, I think.
You will say something from your new CD, Candye. You have a little history connected to different of the melodies on the new CD.
On the new one, do I have a connection to the melodies?
Yeah, history or something you want to mention.
Well, the new CD coming out, Swingin'.
Yeah.
I think all of my songs, I try to make them have meaning that is, either healing or what's the word? Empowering. And then the other ones are maybe just funny. I like to use humor to get a point across.
You have a lot of humor.
And when you use the humor to get a point across, then you're not hitting them over the head with the message. It just comes from the funniness. Even Masturbation Blues, the song you mentioned, that was more a copy of an old style of music. In the 30s, there were many songs written like that: copulating blues, streetwalking blues, Memphis.
Bessie Smith could do this.
Yeah, and Memphis
actually,
Minnie
yeah.
wrote many songs that were about prostitution, about controversial subjects for women. And so I wrote it just to be funny. And the same with The Lord Was a Woman, which was also a funny tongue-in-cheek song. The Lord was a woman. You know, everyone thinks of God as being a male figure. So I said, why not make God a female figure? Females give life. They nurture babies. They're more godlike. And so I wanted to say that, and in a way that was funny and not, and that didn't take religion too seriously. That was just a fun way to say, what if God was female? How would it change our lives? You know, would it change your life at all, or would it make any difference? And so sometimes I write that way. You know, just I think I'm less provocative now. I used to write songs just to be provocative sometimes. I liked writing a song that made people go, what did she say? You know, I liked, like on All You Can Eat or Masturbation Blues, I liked being able to sort of be shocking a little bit, because people wake up and they don't forget you if you, you know. So, and also if you make them laugh, they don't forget you. So that's a lesson I've learned in my life. But I'm a little more serious now, because just I've been through so much that it's changed me a little bit. I'm just older and more seasoned, you know, like... and I have a lot of young energy around me. Her energy is very young. She's young and fun.
She fills you up.
She does, and she brings energy to the stage even without... Sometimes she keeps her head down and her hat in front of her eyes, and she doesn't look up even the whole show. She's like hiding, but she still has incredible energy and spirit, and it comes through in the playing.
Your musical partner, your friend, and she could be your daughter as well? Or?
Oh yeah, I say she's my daughter. I say this all the time.
Yeah.
Right, and she calls the hospital and says, I'm calling for my mother, blah blah blah. We do this all the time. She is like my daughter. She calls me her other mother. So it's a funny relationship. It's many different relationships. It's not just the mother-daughter relationship, because sometimes I mother her, and sometimes she mothers me, and she needs it less than I do. I'm more fragile probably now, and so she's doing more of the mothering, which is a harder job. But you know, we take turns, I think, being the one who's mothering, the one who's the baby.
You promised to come back, Candye. You have one concert tomorrow. Two?
Yeah,
tomorrow?
yeah.
Working hard, as usual.
Yeah, that's probably the hardest show on the tour. Is that one where we do Oslo and then Skedsmo. That's probably the hardest one.
You have many fans in Norway, so you promised to come back.
Yeah, I love Norway. I wish I could come. You know, I played some very beautiful small towns. Hey, there's Bobby. Bobby, do you have could you get a CD for us?
No, you want me to go grab one?
Yeah, could you mind?
Which ones?
Well, the one, if you could get The Power in You and Coming Out Swinging.
How many?
Yeah, just
Like a handful or something?
No, just one. You don't need it, do you, Rolf? You have. Okay. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, he'll go get it, and then.
It's a bass player, yeah.
So you can, so then you can have a copy,
fine.
Because it's hard to get. We put it out ourselves on Viztone, and so I don't know if there is a distributor in Norway.
We've been to Norway once since the album came out, so.
Okay.
one festival, Blues in Hell.
Yeah, Blues in Hell, right.
But I was telling him, I said I thought that Norway was the first country, one of the first countries to bring you to Europe.
It was.
That gave you a
Norway
big shot.
was the first time I came to Europe was in Norway. Because I came with the Antone's Women Review. No, the first time I came was with Teddy Morgan and Lavelle, Miss Lavelle White.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the first. Yeah, yeah. And we played Gamla many times after that.
He's still working? He's still touring?
Teddy Morgan?
Yeah,
No, well, he's doing country. He lives in Tucson and he's playing country. And so none of us have seen him in a long time. He's not involved in the blues community at all. He's just playing country. Have you heard anything about him?
No.
Yeah.
Still got his patch.
Yeah, he just disappeared off the map, kind of. You know, I think he got married and had children, and then changed his sound. And but yeah, that was the first trip. My first trip to Europe was in Norway, so it was so nice to see the small towns. And we played in Lillehammer and Molde and some place. What was it called? I don't remember all the names, but all over Norway, some places way up in the mountains, and some places in beautiful little villages and we come to the show and everybody's drunk by 7:00. It's crazy, I think because nothing happens there's nothing happening all month, so they look forward to this show, and
For sure.
and then they get excited and drink too much before the show has even happened, and it's.